Arthur Schopenhauer was a philosopher who tried to answer one simple question: why is life so difficult? His answer wasn't optimistic, but it was brutally clear. And that's exactly why people still want to understand him today. He was a 19th century German thinker who famously loved his solitude, classical music, and long walks with his poodle. But more than anything, he loved truth, especially when it hurt. Unlike many idealists before him who tried to paint a rosy picture of existence, Schopenhauer wanted to strip it all down. He wasn't interested in how the world should be, he wanted to explain how we as humans actually function. And to do that, he proposed one of the most powerful and unsettling ideas in all of philosophy. Schopenhauer believed that humans aren't fundamentally guided by reason, logic, or conscious thought. We are guided by something deeper, a relentless primal force he called the will. Now, this isn't willpower or a decision you make. Think of it as a blind, irrational, and impersonal energy that pushes every living thing to want, to chase, to crave, and to pursue. It's the hunger in an animal, the drive for a plant to reach the sun, and the constant restlessness in your own heart. For Schopenhauer, our intellect is just a servant to this will. You don't think first and then decide to want something. You want, and then your mind invents elaborate reasons to justify that want. This brings us to the core of his diagnosis. For Schopenhauer, life hurts precisely because the will is never ever satisfied. It's a bottomless pit. When you want something, you suffer from the lack of it. When you finally get it, you feel a brief moment of happiness, a release from that suffering. But then, almost immediately, you get used to it. The novelty wears off and a new feeling creeps in: boredom. This boredom creates a void, which the will immediately tries to fill with a new desire. So life becomes this constant, exhausting cycle: wanting, getting, feeling bored, and wanting again. That's why he famously wrote, "Life swings like a pendulum between pain and boredom." Just think about your own life. Imagine you desperately want a new job, a new phone, or even just someone's approval on social media. While you're chasing it, you might feel frustrated, anxious, incomplete. When you get it, the job offer, the shiny new box, the notification, there's a rush of excitement. It feels like a victory. But how long does that feeling really last? A week? A day? Soon the excitement fades, the job becomes just a job, the phone becomes just a tool, the approval is forgotten, and the will starts whispering again, pointing you toward the next thing, the next chase. Schopenhauer says this engine pushes us forward endlessly, but it never ever lets us truly rest. So are we doomed? Not entirely. Schopenhauer, for all his pessimism, wasn't hopeless. He believed there are rare, precious moments when the will becomes quiet, when we can step off the pendulum. The two most important paths to this freedom are art and compassion. When we lose ourselves in a piece of music or a beautiful painting, our personal wanting fades away. We stop being a bundle of cravings and become a pure observer for a moment. The other path is compassion. When we truly understand another person's suffering, we recognize the same blind will at work in them. We see that their pain is our pain. In that moment of connection, our own selfish ego dissolves and the cycle of desire temporarily stops. In the end, Schopenhauer doesn't teach us a 7-step plan to be happy. He shows us why lasting, stable happiness is impossible by design. He gives us the reason for that constant nagging inner tension we all feel. His point isn't to make us pessimistic, it's to make us clear-eyed. By understanding the will, we can stop being its puppets. We can understand ourselves, our frustrations, and the struggles of others. We can finally understand why life looks and feels exactly the way it does. If you enjoyed this clear breakdown of Schopenhauer's ideas, subscribe for more deep theories made simple. And answer this in the comments. Which desire is driving you the most right now? And does it energize you or exhaust you? I read every comment.